there.
Anyone
And struck
one
turn to
else on the line?
315.
Copy. I'm going to do the same.
I selected the waypoint 335 is the waypoint.
Copy.
So it looks like we just
And uphill is
had some
according to
seafloor in sight
D2.
on
Wait
D2,
for it.
and we'll
Right there.
give the pilots some time
350.
to orient themselves before we
345.
Yeah.
start
So
our
do
planned dive for today.
345, Sean.
So this
Copy.
this site is
About
actually
there.
bordering a marine protected area known as the Marine Conservation District,
We'll start
located
pushing forward
south
a little
of
bit.
St. Thomas. This area is
bit
known for
altitude.
its extensive coral coverage in the
Is it cool if I
mesophotic
call this bottom?
depths
Sure.
between 30 to 150 meters.
Okay,
But it's also
345.
known for spawning aggregations of
Alright.
red hinds and also Nassau groupers. So hopefully we can see some groupers today and also some
Goes
queen
back
snappers
60 degrees.
since this area is
Copy that.
pretty
Push it
protected
forward a little more.
from fishing.
We'll bring it
And
up,
coming down a little bit.
bring it up to 50 degrees. And 45.
45. Copy that.
And I'm going to come down to give you a little more tether.
Copy.
Guys go to the bailout south.
Bail out south. Copy that.
Sounds good.
Bridges are RV Yeah, vehicles are safely on the bottom. Let's set
Okay,
bailout
pretty
due
well
south,
stretched out,
please.
yeah.
Thanks.
That.
So the planned dive track for today takes us over a range of different seafloor topographies. We're going to be starting off in a shallower, we're going to be starting off in a bit of a shallower slope, and proceeding up a rather
Almost
sharp
there.
incline, rather sharp slope, which levels out at around
Okay.
300,
All
at
right.
around
I'm going to get your swing arm
400
set up.
Copy
and
that. I'll just
60
Z-bias.
meters or so,
65.
465 meters. And around that depth, there's a small mound on top of the, towards the end of the dive track, we'll be investigating, as these features are suspected to be aggregation points for deepwater fishes.
So this looks like it could be soft sediment of some sort. Few small fishes.
All right, watch leads. Do you have pilot?
Yes, yes, pilot.
Copy that. All right, as you can see, yeah, we're pretty much on bottom. We're just adjusting lighting and some last minute details, and we will start the dive in just a moment.
Sounds good.
The current seems to be pretty calm down here.
Great. All right. Swing arms are set.
All right. I'm happy to Z-bias. And we can start. All right, watch leads. We're all set. If you see anything that you'd like views on, just let me know, and we'll slowly work our way upslope on the track.
Sounds great.
Copy video.
Thorian on the right.
Looks like there might be a small drop off right there.
Yeah.
If you have time, can we zoom on the sea cucumber
kind of
there?
Yeah, copy that. Video, give me 1 sec in the center. These are lasers. You can kill lasers, co-pilot.
Got it.
Get down there. Alright, video, why don't we go for zoom in case it starts to float.
Oh, he's going to take off.
Oh no.
That's a good thing. They look cool swimming.
Ah, very nice.
So this is a sea cucumber or holothurian, and that we see quite often down at these depths.
What's really cool about sea urchins, if they are frightened or they feel at risk of predation, they could basically spill out their intestines and then regenerate it the next couple days. So hopefully we don't see that.
Depends on how scared they get, I guess.
Yeah.
This is some very nice,
Footage.
yeah, camera hog here.
Alright, video, whenever you're happy, let me know. We'll move on.
Okay, we can move on.
Alright, come down.
Okay.
Ah,
Alright, you can come wide, video.
Those,
Feel free to
those sea cucumbers are
pass
some
the
we
skids, whatever you want.
see pretty regularly in this area. Throughout the Gulf of Mexico and the Northeast. In Nympniastes.
The slip is pretty good. I think it's a little more than I thought.
Is that?
The slip seems to be a little more than we thought.
Yeah, maybe it like gets deep and then flattens like shelves.
Yeah, it looks like it's a little more than just a flat bottom, which is a little more interesting. Looks like there might be a drop off ahead.
Well, do we want to go ahead and move the ship?
I think we can.
Yeah.
I don't
What
s-
direction would you like?
It's just upslope.
Upslope?
Yeah, I think
340.
Unless you want to cheat over to this interesting edge here.
yeah, we can cheat if you want a little bit.
So I'm noticing also
yeah,
some
some left.
stalks and stems, but
Maybe
I
like,
think those are,
320 or something
they
like
look very familiar. They're
Or
zoanthid
do you want to
covered
like make a move directly
old
that way?
sponge stalks.
Why don't we? I guess it's just a little
They're
weak
actually
there. It's not
really common.
much of an edge.
They look like corals, but they're not corals.
We do a 340.
Zoanthids are
Oh, 30
a type
meters.
of cnidarian,
It's shown.
similar and closely related to jellyfish, but they are
Test. 1, 2.
they don't have stinging cells like that of cnidarian, well, of
I
anemones
can always
and
stop
and
them
corals.
halfway through.
yeah, they're a little.
Leave it at 30 meters, John.
Ah, there's
Squid?
a squid.
Yeah, 30 sounds good.
Bridge, this is ROV nav.
It's gone, video.
Yeah, like a 30-meter move, 30 meters.
So what are the
bearing
deepwater
340
snappers eating in this area? Are they
speed decimal
eating
2.
squids like the ones we just saw, or they eat other fishes?
Yeah, so some of the fishermen,
Let's
when
get
they
that
pull them out of the water, they still have the prey items in their mouths. So they found shrimp and small fish and also squids. So those are some possible prey items of these deep water snappers. Here's a fish.
Video and do a quick zoom.
Looks
on the
like
fish.
a crinoid attached to,
And some old animal stock, yeah. And looks like a cutthroat eel.
I come down a little bit and turn to starboard. Or sorry, turn to port.
Turn to port, copy.
I'll have to turn back to starboard when we.
Copy. Alright, video, you can go ahead and come wide. Start to push a little bit.
Can we zoom in on the lasers too? There's a stalk there that looks unlike the other ones.
Yeah,
Just
copy
a
that.
snap.
Video snap zoom us.
Oh, there we go. It's our first coral for the dive. A sea pen. Something we would typically find in soft sediment habitats like this.
Is that all you want, Science? Just a quick snap?
Yeah, a quick snap
Copy that.
is fine.
All right,
I'm
video.
sure we can get some
Whenever
identifications
you're
on
happy.
that.
Nice.
So send a sea pen about 12 to
Something dead ahead.
13 centimeters in height.
Oh no. Quick zoom video.
Yes. Thanks, pilot. Oh,
Ah.
shrimp.
Shrimp.
And some black corals here. These orange-looking spiral corals are black corals, probably in the genus Stichopathes. A coral I've seen a number of times, but I still don't have a species-level identification for. But the genus Stichopathes, most likely, and black corals known for their black skeleton underneath the tissue here.
There's a couple small sponges also, right on the edge of the ledge, right there.
And yeah, Science, as we pass over, if you want any really good in-depth views, just let me know, and we can take a little more time.
I think that's adequate now. Yeah.
Copy that. Moving on.
Yeah, some encrusting
wide.
sponges there. Hard to ID.
Okay, I'm going to turn my head back to 340.
Copy that. Turning starboard.
So just to give you an update, we are at a depth of 777 meters. The salinity is 34. PSUs, temperatures 7.4 Celsius, and
Lined up.
oxygen
Tilting
2.87.
my camera down a bit.
Awesome.
60 degrees.
You see a couple of brittle stars
Maybe 5 meters left.
scattered on the floor.
Copy. 5 meters left to move.
I'm going to turn off your auxiliary light.
Here's a small little fish.
Gonna snap this real quick.
Fish
video.
or shrimp.
Copy. Got a shrimp in Camard.
I remember seeing a photo of the stomach contents of some of these fishes, and they were full of
shrimp.
shrimp. It looked
Yep.
like, yeah. So definitely,
Oop.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Oh,
yeah.
took
Move
off.
complete. Thanks,
Oh.
Bridge.
Oh,
It moves complete, pilots.
Copy. Move complete.
Is that a pretty good direction? 340?
I think it's
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like random slope.
Great.
Should we just go ahead and put in another one?
Yeah, slope looks nice and soft, so
Yeah.
I think we can move pretty quick here. I'm fine with the same move
Sounds good.
if it works for your track.
Bridge is ROV nav.
Sponge upper right.
Yeah, I'd like a move. Same as the last one. Range 30 meters.
Looks like a sponge.
340 degrees.
Fallen
Speed decimal
sponge.
0.
We're just about approaching a rather steep slope,
Good gap.
and we would expect to find many organisms that have fallen down and are stuck at the bottom of this rise. So this is a good
Video
indicator that
now.
there's a rather steep cliff coming up.
All right, those are lasers.
Kind of looks like a coconut.
Video, you
but I
want to
could be
come on
wrong.
in?
It's not the first time I've been fooled by a coconut, but
Lasers clear.
I think by the
Copy,
shape of the
you got it.
spicules,
Ah,
I think
yeah,
it's more of a
it's a
glass
sponge.
sponge of some
Yeah.
type.
It looks like a coconut.
Would make some nice habitat for a shrimp or something.
Yeah.
We see shrimp associated with deep water sponges all the time.
Max zoom.
Looks like some sort of
Copy that.
crustacean down there living in a shell underneath the some type of crab, hermit crab,
Back up.
living in a shell.
All right, video, let me know when you're happy.
Video's clear.
Copy that. Science, you happy?
Happy in the back.
Yes.
Awesome. Come wide. Keep moving.
Yeah, Roland, do you have the settings? So I can latch bridge, and I think it's not supposed to be that
Oh,
way.
sorry, Dan. I think we both clicked it.
You know what I
At
mean?
the same time.
Is there a button on the pilot?
You don't have to do it now, I guess, but. Oh, okay.
But thank you.
So the ROV nav position has the ability to latch bridge. And I don't think we should.
It's a lot of power for the nav.
Yeah.
All right,
There's
video.
another fish.
Quick zoom as it swims.
This could be a slender frost fish. Kevin, if you're on the line, if you can confirm this. Or no.
Those lasers are again about
Lasers
10
clear.
centimeters.
Nice. Go
Gotcha.
for lasers. Awesome.
This one's not too shy. It's coming right up. Normally you get the back end of the fish to have to do the ID, but this one is providing a nice profile view. You heard me say that.
Looking down at you 75 degrees.
Copy that.
Very prominent lateral line running down the body of the fish.
And a lot of these deep water fishes have these really big eyes because of the limited lights in these habitats.
Yep. We're also on the lookout
Video's
for
clear.
potential parasites on
Copy.
these fishes.
Go ahead, come on,
There are
video.
several scientists ashore who are always
Thank
interested in examining the fishes for isopods or other arthropods that might be parasitizing. Oh, another fish.
Try lasers real
Parasitizing.
quick.
Steve, this is Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
And let's go for this fish
Hey,
real quick.
good morning. I've got about a 15 to 20 second delay on my video, so when you guys talk, I've got to wait until I can see it. This fish is an ophidiform fish in the order Ophidiformes. It's one of those cusk eel or something, but not quite familiar with this one, but
80
it's
degrees.
definitely in that order.
Copy that.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And this one, I've seen this one enough. It's some sort of halosaur, I think. But that's usually the best I can do.
All right, video.
Down 90 degrees.
Let's go ahead and come out. I'm going to push a little bit. Cover some ground.
You are 21 meters into a 30 meter move, so he's got 10 meters left.
Nice. Copy that. Thank you, Nav.
Yep. You want me to range your sonar in, or do you like it where it's at?
Put it to 30.
Okay.
So definitely I see some sediment slumping here.
It's a wide-eye fish.
Well, those could be tracks in the sediment from from fauna as well, but it wouldn't surprise me to see sediment falling downhill here because of the increase in slope. We've got Stichopathes, black coral, a couple of them attached to the hard substrate. You can see where part of the sediment has sloughed away and it's exposed some of the underlying rock. Oh, something,
something.
shadow. I think it's another sea cucumber.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Move complete. Thanks, Bridge.
Another Enypniastes sea cucumber. Really big.
Thanks for fixing that, Roland.
How much left in that move, Levi?
These are
not much. I think it's complete. It's complete. Yeah.
these sea cucumbers are
Sorry, they just
deposit feeders. They're feeding on the organic compounds in the sediment that are being degraded over time. A lot of the material that falls down from the surface ocean is the primary food source for a lot of the organisms down here, namely corals who feed on marine snow, and when the particulate organic matter reaches the bottom, the seafloor, it's sometimes vacuumed up by these deep sea cucumbers who are putting a lot of sediment and organic material through their gut and extracting out any nutrition that's possible.
And these sea cucumbers are actually closely related to sea urchins and the crinoids that we saw yesterday. They're all family members.
Looks like a shrimp.
Shrimp.
Yep, swimming shrimp.
There's actually a lot more shrimp on this dive than yesterday's dive that we saw, well, in the water column swimming.
Pilots?
Nav, what's going on?
You guys are going uphill.
Roger that.
Ship should just be complete. So,
Ship has completed.
yeah, so this is what we're doing. Going up this hill, and then we're going to go up this hill. 10-meter contour, so you can tell it's not super steep, but it's a little slope. Right now, we just got you guys going uphill, 340.
Wonderful. I'm lined up 340. Delta 14.
Go ahead, Bridge.
Be happy. Give a good push.
Understood.
About 6
Yeah,
meters
as long
off
as
the
your
bottom,
center of
just so you know.
rotation is A.
Sí, está escuchando.
Great.
Saludos,
And you're coming up.
especialmente en el
070.
Eco Exploratorio
Thanks.
en San Juan. Saludos a todos. Buenos días.
With you.
Y estamos aquí noreste de la isla Vieques y sur de St. Thomas, en profundidades de 761 metros. Y vamos a buscar habitats de pez, de chíos, en aguas profundas. Y vamos a buscar áreas con corales y esponjas.
If you're just tuning in, we'll introduce ourselves as well. My name is Steve Oskovich. I'm one of the co-science leads on this expedition. I'm a PhD candidate at Temple University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And right next to me,
Hello, my name is Stacy Williams. I live in Puerto Rico. I'm a co-founder of the Institute for Socio-Ecological Research and Coastal Survey Solutions. I'm a coral reef ecologist and very excited to be on this expedition.
See your front
Hello,
toes. You don't even see
all.
your shadow yet, so you're still pretty high.
Well, I'll come down a little bit.
You can tilt up, and that'll help
Yeah.
help with that. Help you keep a little lower. Roland likes it about there in terms of lighting.
We're seeing some break in the seafloor, some structures.
Yeah, there you go. 2 meters. That's about good. Obviously, as it gets steeper, you'll have to do a
Change.
little more.
I can zoom from here.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, well, we'll get an image of this fish first, since it's being very photogenic. So this looks like some sort of midwater fish, potentially. I have no idea about any of these midwater fishes, so I'm going to have to rely on our shoreside scientists here. Although some pretty great imagery.
Swimming on me.
The pectoral fins are pretty.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It almost looks like it's motionless in the water.
Yeah.
I'm slowly zooming out. He's getting close to you.
Copy that.
Could let him go.
All right, let it
Couple
go.
of shrimp behind him.
Copy that, Bridge.
Thank you, video. Oh yeah, he's right inside there. Okay.
All right. Well, we're going to continue moving upslope, but in the meanwhile, we have a little bit of time. Pilot, this is Watchley. Do you have a moment to introduce yourselves in the front row?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Whenever you feel ready.
Copy that. All right. So we need to speak on OKEX, right?
EX or DN, okay, EX.
Yeah, that's right.
Down there. You got that one. Yep, perfect.
Do you want me to start it off? Or? Good morning. The front row has just changed shifts. I'd like to introduce ourselves now. Speaking is Lars Murphy at pilot. To my left
is Andy Lister at navigator.
Sitting co-pilot is Jeffrey Lanning.
In the far corner is Roland Bryan with video.
And in the back row, I'm Emily Narrow. I'm in the video clipping chair.
And we are all part of GFOE, the Global Foundation for Ocean Exploration. And we look forward to this next section of the dive.
Thank you, front row and back row, part of the back row. So we're just getting into a little bit more interesting topography here, where it's not fully sediment covered, but there is still some hard substrate for benthic critters to attach to.
085.
Thank you, video.
Although I'm not seeing very much at the moment. Occasional crinoid or black coral, stichopathes, whip.
Copy that.
Up there looks like some fish.
Yep, something shiny over there
Something.
as well.
Yeah.
I'll make my way towards it.
Is that a shadow or is it just very big?
I think it may be a fish in a hole. Yes.
Yeah, the sediment around here is definitely very bioturbated. There's a lot of small, tiny mounds for infauna that live inside the sediment or burrow or use it as some sort of
That was my bad.
refuge.
And a lot of times when you're
She's
looking
not
at this
coming
fish, you can see their mouth forms. If their mouth is pointing downwards, usually these fish are feeding what's living on the seafloor, like shrimp or other small animals.
That was my fault.
So you could kind of get an idea of what this fish feed on by their body shape and the direction their mouth is pointed.
We didn't scare it.
For everyone shoreside, if you're in the chat room, I think we're trying to get the nav data tab up and working. It might not be displaying the depth and temperature and CTD data that you might be used to seeing, so we'll just reiterate it every few minutes or so.
Feel free to come in on that fish whenever you get it, video.
Oh, that's right. Yep, on the quad display on the ROV Sirius panel, you should be able to see the depth at least.
I'm gonna zoom from here.
But the depth is
If you'd like to.
756
If the lighting's
meters right
good.
now. As we zoom into this fish,
Have we seen this before today?
First
this is
time.
No,
a new
this isn't new.
observation.
Okay.
So
Probably take
these
the lasers off.
tendrils that are hanging off the fish below, right there by his mouth, it probably uses them to sense anything that's living within the sand. So probably maybe some small shrimp or worms.
Copy that, Bridge. Just let us know when you're ready for us to put in a ship move.
So the depth again is
Oh, they do another
757
heading
meters.
change. Okay.
Temperature is
We'll
about
after that.
7.64, 7.6 degrees C.
About 340. That looks good still.
And
more closer to it.
the
Yep. Coming in.
oxygen
Yeah, they said
concentration
they're,
is about
they're still trying to get the,
2.82
forces
milliliters
up
per
there.
liter.
Oh, I meant our head.
Our heading. Yeah.
Our move.
Gotcha.
340. It's
Yep,
good there.
I'll put it in. Another 30 meters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, I think we're satisfied with that imagery on the fish.
Okay. Coming out video.
You can see it.
Yeah,
You could
foraging
actually,
around.
see it kind of sense in the bottom.
There was another dark spot over to the left behind this one. I
Okay.
believe. Would you like to head that way? or-
Yeah, if it's a good direction for
It's
you
straight
all.
ahead now.
Yep.
Steve, this is Kevin Rademacher. That fish with the barbels, the silvery fish, that's Polymyxia loei, Polymyxia loei, a beard
We have a
fish.
move underway.
There are two
Not yet.
species in the
Ship is
genus.
making a heading change right now.
It's the only
Got
genus
the-
in the
I'll just
family, and
explore
it's
here
the
a
only
little bit.
family in that order,
We've got space to
Polymyxia formes.
Excellent.
See if there's anything
Thank you
on
very
the
much.
inside.
Polymyxia, the beardfish.
Give it a little.
There's a crab in the hole we're flying over below.
Is that of interest, or should we continue on to this one?
Just notify them.
There's a sea star right below me. on the
Looks
bottom
like
left as well,
some
or something.
maybe looks like some corals.
We'll continue on. We see the crinoid, yeah, the
Okay.
sea star looking thing. But we'll
So you
continue
can
on.
You can just do a sweep towards the starboard, and that would let you stay within your tether but see new stuff.
Copy that.
And once the ship's
Do I have enough room to push ahead to this hole?
Possibly. You
Alright.
might feel a tug.
I'll push ahead a little bit and
Looks
see if I can swing to the port,
Something.
seeing it if it's even a hole at all.
Yep. There's a couple things on the top of the hole that we'd like to look at. One is a sponge, and just to the right, out of screen right now, looks like it could be a coral.
Copy that. Right there, that just came into view.
Yeah.
Right. Which one would you prefer first?
The one that's straight ahead first. I think the one on the right is actually the same sponge, but
Copy that.
just not in great shape. Could be, yeah.
Do we want to do a quick zoom before we?
Yeah,
Sure.
Sure, we'll check it out.
Right.
Not quite sure what that could be. It's blending in very well to the sediment.
Go ahead in video.
Maybe some cnidarian of some sort.
Could
Or-
be, yeah. It's very tough to tell.
You're drifting back.
Or maybe a sponge.
My first thought was sponge debris. Yeah. Okay, we're satisfied there. We'll back to the other sponge on top of the crest.
Got some light flares going on both sides of the camera.
Kind of looks like a glass sponge.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like a type of glass sponge, also known as a hexactinellid sponge.
Would you like to come in on that video?
Possibly a euplectellid sponge. Something that is I would hesitate to say common, but something that has been seen in this area previously, and I think it is. Euplectellid sponge,
Low here.
possibly in the
Would you like
genus
me to get closer?
Euplectella.
In general, yes.
I don't think we
Okay.
need to get closer. I think, yeah, we would be able to see if there were any shrimps or crabs inside of it. I don't quite see any right now.
Copy that. Come out and we'll go to the specimen on the right.
Yeah,
Down here.
I think we can skip that one. It looks like a sponge as well, but just in a worse shape. But
Copy
maybe
that.
a snap zoom at least.
Go ahead and come in, video.
Yep.
This one has a crinoid on it, but the sponge itself doesn't look like it's in great shape.
So I'm sliding back, that's why.
Yeah, you're just got a little momentum backwards.
Gotcha.
We're satisfied, pilot, to
Okay.
move on.
Let's swing over to the starboard then.
Yeah, just keep this facing view and come around starboard and look around. And hopefully we'll be able to get a move in shortly.
Are they still making the heading change?
Yeah, they're still making heading change. They should be coming to an end now.
Copy that.
Looks like they've settled on 105.
Copy that, bridge. How's it looking right now? Do you think that's going to be a good set heading? Copy that.
Can we pause for a move if it's safe?
Yes. Bridge, would you feel it's possible to possibly pause and put in a move because we're pretty stretched out here? Okay. Let me know when it's good to go.
Thanks, Nav.
So while the ship is trying to move here, we'll just take a look
You feel like
around.
putting in a little bit, like maybe a 40-meter move, just because. Okay.
There's definitely a lot of sediment here. Not much attached fauna.
Okay, bridge. It's going to be 40 meters at 340 at 0.2 knots.
How is that for
Good
like
copy.
speed and is that
Seems good to me.
What was
Video's
that
the guy. Ask him. Oh.
Roland, are you happy with this old drive-by?
Yeah, this is good. I'd like to get a little closer to the subjects, though, to get better lighting on them
Okay.
in general.
Definitely. Looks like we got a little hole here. We'll back up, take a look at it.
Some bent uniforms, maybe.
Yeah. Some kind of burrow.
See anything in there
Looks
that
like
you're
some
interested
small
in?
cup
Yeah.
organisms.
Or scientists?
See a small cup coral.
Negative.
Great. And that move should be going in, right?
Yeah, I'll keep you in view for now.
They look very similar to the ones we were seeing yesterday.
Let's, if there's nothing of extreme interest here, I may just get a better feel for the vehicle. Potentially touch down, we won't be obscuring any video feed, right? Or useful video feed.
It's all useful.
Well, I mean,
There's a big coral.
I think you get a good shot if you tilt the
So
camera up at this angle.
I don't-
see some stuff.
I don't even know if that's
lions.
much alive with the original organism that was there, but maybe we can take a snap zoom for attached things.
on this coral here?
Yeah.
Right.
I think there were some crinoids and some... I see a siderid urchin in the background, actually, also, too. Up
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Go ahead and come in, video.
So this former coral is now fully covered in hydroids, another relative of cnidarians, or it is a cnidarian, but a relative of corals. But this coral actually looks to me like it may have at one point been a bamboo
Smack
coral,
Okay.
because I see some banding, some discoloration.
If you want, I can try and get the base and the tip.
Yeah, it don't work too hard to get it. It's it's definitely dead, but if on the way out
Copy
can
that.
scan the base.
Up.
Coming up.
Might be easier to see if it was a bamboo coral. Yeah, and I would say so.
There's a crinoid. Is that a crinoid attached? Yeah.
Yep.
Gonna just follow it down to the sediment.
So this was a bamboo coral at one time, and you can see the dark nodes and the mineral
Starting to lose you.
white
Video's
color
clear.
looking internodes.
Copy that. All right, feel free to come out video. I'm gonna.
Yep.
Make my. Is that an urchin there?
That is an urchin, yeah.
Is that of interest?
If you have time, yeah.
We should have time, right? You still have my light.
Your light pool's right there.
Yeah. Come in quick video.
Now this is a different species of what we saw yesterday.
Yep.
Coming back.
Not so long of spines. It's actually missing a couple spines.
Yeah.
That's
It
very
looks like,
interesting.
yeah.
It has zoanthids growing on the spines.
Maxine.
Copy that.
I don't think I've seen that before.
These are also known as pencil sea urchins because their spines are so thick that they resemble pencils.
Right.
Time to play
If-
catch up.
And they're
If video and
also
science are clear, I think
relatives
Video's clear.
of the
Alright,
crinoids
so you're all
and sea
set?
cucumbers.
Yep.
Yes, yep.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
feel
you.
free to come out video and let me run back out in front of Sirius.
And for all those who are joining us, welcome. Today we are exploring some of the deep water habitats of possible deep water snapper
Go uphill a
species,
little more.
like the queen snappers and also some
Somewhere
groupers.
That direction, yeah.
And also trying to
Gotta
find
get the light
areas
out
where
right
we can
underneath
locate deep water corals and sponges and other organisms. So far we've been seeing some echinoderms, crinoids and sea stars, a couple sea cucumbers, and some black corals.
Got your glimpse of you there.
And previously living bamboo coral, but I'm optimistic that we'll probably see another individual from. Oh, actually, just out of the screen on the lower right, there was a large fish hiding in a crevice.
Straight
And
back.
we're moving ahead of it
Probably
now, so
guilty
just
if you
due
tilt
south
down.
of the middle of the screen.
Coming back.
Looked like a roughy
Okay, from the camera tilt.
looking fish, orange or reddish.
Yeah, just tilt down.
Tilt down.
Grab it.
I'm all the way down. I believe.
Alright.
Just caught it out of the
no.
corner of my eye.
So you're up.
Oh, yep.
The one underneath.
Yep,
Yep.
that's it.
I'll hold there. Video if you want to come in on the on the fish. There's a shrimp as well.
Yep. So I think that's a type of roughy.
You're backing away a lot.
I'm backing up. Okay. I'll try and come in.
It has this really distinctive line right there on its
How's that for light video?
It's getting better.
Getting better. All right, I am getting
bottom
closer.
mouth parts.
The head is very pretty,
Yeah.
Okay.
big eyes,
That's good
Oh,
there.
wow.
and I don't think I see any parasites on this particular individual.
Pulling out.
Coming back up. Coming over.
Beautiful fish.
How much we got left on that map?
Video's clear.
Steve, I'm just now getting some good video. Yes, that is one of the roughies. That's Jephnabarix darwini.
I didn't get the time, so
Don't recall the common name off the top of my head right now.
It's done.
Excellent.
Copy that, Bridge.
The
If
fire
you want
barracks.
to continue your heading change, feel free.
all right.
Okay.
Time to catch up. Sorry.
Video time to come out.
I know
Copy
I'm
that.
going to misspell that, but I'll look it up later.
Copy that. Coming up and over.
Something like that.
Looks like another glass sponge ahead.
Oh, so I got the Sirius camera.
So we're getting into a little bit more dramatic topography now. We started off the dive in a more flat, sedimented tongue that was sticking out of this particular wall.
Pretty stable, so.
And now we seem to be
come across the wall,
hitting that wall, and the topography is rising very fast. The bottom is rising very fast. Although not a lot of evidence of attached fauna, which we would expect to find in this area.
Do you think it could be maybe caused by all the sediment?
Try to do both, kind of come up and
could be
into
sediment.
You're way down over there.
Yeah.
Could be some other environmental parameters.
Way off to starboard. So sort of come forward and up.
Copy that.
Oxygen has decreased since we.
They ask you to take.
There's another fish.
We're in a stable position, so.
It looks like the fish that we.
Coming over
beard fish.
The beard fish.
Yeah. So we would expect to see more attached fauna in these hard substrate areas because there is more space to attach to, but at the same time, currents sometimes can be accelerated around these rocky features. And that brings things like corals and sponges, more food, greater food supply.
I just realized that as soon as I said it.
Looks like maybe a sea star in front of us.
Oh yeah, that is a sea star.
Still aiming
on the rock.
A few degrees to starboard.
Pilot, can you do a snapshot of
is that watch lead 2 that's talking?
Yes.
Okay, I got you. Sorry, I had you slightly muted. I got you on now.
Okay.
All right, feel free to come in video.
Yes. Yep. It's a sea star.
Yep.
How is that for light? Would you like me to get closer?
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yes.
Okay. If you want to zoom out a little bit, I'll move in.
I mean, it's okay for what
I think this is
just in general.
One of the slime stars, but I
try to light it up.
Haven't seen sea stars like this in a while, so I could be mistaken.
Copy that. Thank you.
Why is it called a slime star? Produces slime.
I guess when they're handled, when they're sampled, they're capable of producing quite a bit of slime.
Okay.
Yep. It's right about there would be what I would consider optimal.
Okay. We get a spatial. Okay, excellent. Scientists, are you all set with this?
Yes,
I think so. Thank you.
Okay. Feel free to come all the way out, video. Unless
that was full zoom out.
Gotcha.
So yeah, when you're scanning, you're going to want to be back a little bit, not this close because you can't see anything.
Yeah.
You want to just be a little bit further back from this so you still have light, you can see plenty of objects.
And then when you see an item, go in.
When you see an item, go in and get a lot of light on it, and then take the zoom. And it's helpful if you get yourself stable when you're wide.
Y la profundidad ahora es 736 metros y salinidad es 34 PSU y temperatura es 8 grados de Celsius y oxígeno es 2.7.
Copy that. Right,
so
come back to
this is the second individual we've seen now, and the right-hand side of the screen looks like a type of.
So, like in something like this, is it better to lateral port? Starboard? Yeah, port.
Yeah. I mean, so you don't want to be totally squared up and just looking right in front of you.
Yeah, so like a slide angle.
Yeah, exactly. You want to see what's coming.
Right.
So that way, when they see something come in on the left side of the screen and they say they want it, you're going to slow down, but then you're just going to turn your head and square up to it.
Go ahead, Bridge.
And that way, you're not going to dust everything up as you try to do that.
Gotcha.
It'll make your life easier.
Excellent. Thank you.
So that angle looks really good.
Something like
Just
that.
keep
All right.
that and come along.
So
And we kind of do a slant, you know, like a keep this angle, come across, and come up at sort of the same time. And that way you're covering ground, but you're also, you know, we have a broad view here, so you're able to see a lot of the sort of just zigzag.
Also, this is a
Get off the
reminder
wall
for
like
any of
that.
the land-based science team. Please feel free to annotate in situ anything that you see or you
Is
think
the,
would be
little
interesting,
fish there
would
of
be of great
interest?
help.
It looks like there's a shadow up above it as well from something a little bit bigger, maybe. I don't know if you can see anything on Sirius.
Shadow of...
You see like that V shadow or that V
yeah,
shape?
there's a coral sticking out there.
Oh,
maybe,
gotcha.
yeah, or a sponge. Could be a fish. It's hard
It
to
doesn't
tell
seem to
from
be
here.
moving
Yeah,
that much.
it's a sponge.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty transparent.
Okay, I'm going to bring my heading to port.
Copy that.
You're coming back in view. Line back up with 340.
What about these little white specks in front of us? Those shells?
They look like some kind of shell. Yeah, if you have a moment, a snap zoom, I think they're old, either brachiopod shells or some sort of mollusk.
Okay. Coming down on it?
I think they won't spend much time on it.
Yep,
so
just quick.
that's fine.
Quick, yeah. We don't have to delay too much. Might be difficult to get an ID on them anyway, but it doesn't look like a brachiopod. Probably some sort of mollusk. The shell looks rather robust.
Okay, feel free to come out video.
Looks like it is a bishell.
Bivalve.
Bivalve?
Yeah.
Yep.
You're full wide.
Copy that. Thank you.
So the only other thing to think about when you're doing this, and it hasn't been an issue yet, so you know you're doing fine, but just keep an eye on those starboard swing arms as you come across,
Oh, true.
because it's
Starting to get steep.
starting to get steeper.
Yep.
And so my job as co-pilot is if I start seeing it happen, I can just suck it in for you and I'll let you know. But for now, just make sure you don't plant the side of your vehicle in. That's the only way you're going to hit is if you really bury yourself on the starboard side.
There's a
Gotcha.
But be
pilot. There's a
mindful of
fish
that.
in the middle of the screen coming up.
Yep.
Can we zoom on that?
Of course. Let's get a little bit closer, and then feel free to come in video. I'll start.
rat tail.
All right, if you're happy with the lighting, come in as you will.
It's very good lighting right there.
All right.
So we're looking at
Yourself
here
a
a
little tiny bit of
fish we came
slack to
across.
stop your momentum
Looks like a
forward.
type of rat tail fish or grenadier.
There you go.
These are fairly common types of fish at these depths in the
Right
deep
toe
sea.
might touch, just be ready for it to turn the vehicle
but
a little.
Copy that.
Nevertheless, they have a good diversity,
Still going.
species
Yeah,
diversity.
I'm trying to come back a little. There we go.
So we'll let our shoreside scientists chime in if they have
There you go.
Something like that.
any input
Okay.
about identification.
Sorry, I should do a
but
little bit more of a tap.
Likely it's going to be some sort of
reverse.
rat tail fish.
Yeah, so it's good. You want to, when you're reversing up to something like this, you want to get on it early and give it a very small amount of thrust over a long period of time.
Yep.
That way you're not less likely to produce a large burst that will cause a lot
It's
of
a great
wash.
view of their eyes.
Copy
So
that.
the sooner you can start reversing
Yep.
and just easing yourself,
Bless you. No,
watching your, you don't want to start backing up, but watch your manip cam views, and you can really tell
gotcha.
that you're starting to stop.
No. Oop.
Excellent.
My bad.
Going for full specimen.
Go ahead.
Slight tilt up.
Coming up.
All right. Whenever video is gotten its satisfied, we're ready back here, pilot.
Video's
Okay.
clear.
Feel free to come all the way out. Yeah, come out to lasers first, if we haven't got it already.
It's good.
All right. And all the way up. Let's continue. I'll keep heading towards the port.
What is that?
Looks like
Is that a sponge?
The giant
pilot.
right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right to the right, pilot. This is watch lead 2. Can you possibly just do a snapshot of?
Yep. Feel free to come in, video.
Looks like a tunicate.
Oh wow. With the brittle star.
Yep. Yeah. So it's a type of
So
non-vertebrate
floating
chordate
away, right?
correct, called a
Drifting
tunicate
out.
or a sea squirt.
Yeah, so what I think you're doing is pivoting.
And
Okay.
I
You have the
can't
right toe
tell
down.
which
I think
end is
you're-
up, but I
Oh,
can
it's
definitely
down.
see one of the siphons on the right-hand
Yeah,
I think you're
side.
pivoting around your right toe, which looks like you're backing. It's hard to tell what.
To the left is a crinoid, a feather star. This is not nice anymore, but you know, it's good to document. Someone will be able to identify it, hopefully.
It's
It
pretty actually
definitely-
pretty large for
Yeah.
a tunicate.
Right. Yep. They get
Yeah,
pretty
let's go for
large,
lasers.
and there are actually some carnivorous types down here
Tilt up.
in the deep sea.
Coming up.
Occasionally, we see these carnivorous tunicates that will capture prey and
Just run the
slowly
lasers right
digest it,
across the creature.
rather than filtering seawater, which is what
Video's clear.
Okay.
a lot of
free
the
to come
shallow
up.
water species do.
Science, are you clear with this specimen?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
All right. Continuing on, heading towards the port.
Full line.
Pilots, just so you're aware, we are at a good ship heading as well, so we'll be ready for moves whenever you guys are.
Copy
Excellent.
that.
So was my toe actually in the mud there? Did you? I didn't see any sediment come up when I lifted.
Yeah, I think just very lightly.
Okay.
Just probably the perfect toe hold.
So it seems like we're seeing a lot
Planned it
of
that way.
interesting things as we're moving up this steeper slope. But in the meanwhile, while we're getting the ship to move and we're moving the vehicles, I'll give a brief summary of the bigger picture, what we're doing out here specifically, rather than just at this particular site.
Circle on the right.
So we left
Circle
the port
on
of
the
San
right.
Juan about
Just
on the 30th,
yeah, chance
and
for
we
it.
conducted
yeah.
one dive so far. This is our second
Looks like
dive of
a
this
similar
expedition,
ocean to what we saw earlier.
exploring deep water habitats around Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Hard to tell.
Over the next 3 weeks or so, we'll be out here
Better
diving
contact
every
there.
single day, mapping at night
Fair.
the seafloor, and diving with our remotely operated vehicles across a range of depths to accomplish
Yeah, a couple of things. in this shot.
various scientific goals that range from understanding deep water habitat usage by fishes, presence and occurrence of deep water
Keep moving
corals,
till they call
diversity of
something
deep
out.
water corals, and sponges.
Coming up with you.
We're going to be looking in
Right.
many different habitats,
Still heading to the port.
including submarine canyons, slopes, seamounts, escarpments, trenches, and any other
Oh yeah.
poorly known deep sea environment, deep sea habitats we come across.
Yeah, way across the screen there.
All of the data that we're going to
So-
collect over the course of this expedition,
minute.
from video data,
Lower right swing arm.
there's a fish right in the
Above
center.
there, everything's good.
Okay.
Pilot, there's a fish right in the center.
Yep.
Thank you.
Coming to it now. I'm gonna try and get a little bit closer to get the light a little bit better, and then. And feel free to come in, video.
Zoom in.
Okay. So this is a
Yeah,
reverse.
looks like another
This is
type of Jafar
Feel free to
barracks.
come off with the lasers.
Another roughy.
Nope. Airplane controls. Alright.
Just in case I don't know all my roughies, we'll get some imagery of it nevertheless, and they'll be able to tell us back on shore if it is the same individual. Or not the same individual, rather the same species, at least.
Video's clear.
Okay. Science, are you happy?
Yeah, I think we'll move on.
Copy that.
Might be the best we can do for now.
Feel free to come out.
Full wide.
Copy that.
Pushing past the skids.
Thank you. So
I think we're ready for another 20.
there's
Another barbel fish or
He got some goodies
beard
out here.
fish.
you have something up
I don't wanna
there
get moving too
to
quick.
the.
Yeah, do you want to go towards those, or do you want to go? You're heading 340.
Something right to the right of the fish.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like some trash. I think
20
that's
meters?
a aluminum can.
Did you say 20?
Yeah, 20
Okay.
for now, thanks. It's getting steep.
We have any interest in the
Bridge, RV nav.
debris?
Hey, you ready for ship move? All right, let's do 20 meters, 340 degrees, 0.2 knots. Good copy.
So that we're looking at another beardfish, and then it looks like there's some trash, possibly a can, aluminum can of some type.
Oh, a
Yep.
Sprite
Just
can.
Sprite.
Yep, soda can. And to the left there is actually something I would like to get some imagery on, is a type of coral. This one looks like a stylastrid coral. I think it's alive. Yeah, it looks alive to me.
There's also a live tube worm just below it,
You got a worm too.
or something in a tube.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep. So just to the lower right of that coral, there's a sponge, and it looks like there's some sort of polychaete worm
Is that full zoom video?
in a tube,
Now it is.
slowly creeping out of that
So if
structure.
We're on a,
Just give yourself a little bump up.
Am I?
You're going down pretty quick.
Go.
There you go. The verts are the hardest to get figured
Yeah.
out. As soon as you get forward, back, left, right, nailed, it's another like, a few dozen hours till you
Full wide.
verts.
Okay.
Oh, yep, yep. So the coral we were just looking at, I think we'll try and move back in if you have time, is a type of stylastrid hydrocoral.
I'm gonna come around to the starboard of it and get a different view. If that
Okay.
works with
Feel
everyone.
that move.
Copy that.
And what are the differences between hydrocorals and sclerotinian corals?
First of all,
This
they're
is a
both
good distance
Nigerian,
for,
so they're both
For
belong to
light
the same
video.
family
Yes,
or
it's
same
good lighting.
group
Let me
of
swing around
corals
and see
that
if we can
has
get it.
stinging cells in their tentacles, but this particular
So
group,
small, you can touch down a shot.
most
Hard
representatives from this group don't,
Stable shot of something small.
the hydrocorals
Copy that.
don't necessarily make
I'll
this hard stony skeleton. It's one thing they have in common with sclerotinians, but their closest relatives are the hydroids we saw encrusting on the corals, the dead bamboo coral a while ago.
So still coming down. Still going. Do a little
But
shot to the side.
They
How about
are
that video?
distant relatives,
Yeah, let's,
but they
uh,
belong
hold
within
it
the
side
same
on.
group of organisms.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. So you want me to spin around a little bit more?
In general, yes.
Yeah.
Not on this particular.
It's
specimen.
this particular morphology, which I'll try to identify when we get a better shot, is one that is not uncommon in this area, or not
You wanna come out a
uncommon
little
in
bit? I'll try and get to the
the
side.
Northeast Caribbean at least, but there haven't been a lot of
Full wide.
there hasn't been a lot of research on this group in the deep sea.
And do you usually find these species? They seem to be small. They don't grow to, something like what we see in soft
Copy, Rich, thanks.
corals.
Right.
And
Yeah,
Down at
they
your
can
right
get quite large,
75
but
degrees.
this
Copy that.
particular species or genus,
Should have just stayed in the same
they don't
position.
grow very large.
So I think I should have just stayed where
It's
I
unclear
was.
why they don't do that, if it's something about their biology
It's a
or
good
if they
angle
just
there.
don't get the
Okay.
opportunity to grow very large because
Let me,
they
stable
are living
out
in a slope environment and there's potentially a lot of disturbance
yeah,
and
that could
try and come in there.
reduce their,
maybe also
Maximum
their
size.
skeletal structure.
yeah.
They're lacking that.
Okay, so this very good. We're getting a better look at this stylastrid coral, which I'm going to tentatively put in the genus Crypthelia. Known from these depths for sure. It actually occurs much deeper as well. With these corals, very difficult to identify to the species level with imagery, so we'll take some very nice images, and hopefully that will suffice for our scientists, I'm sure. A number of these corals have been collected in the past, but
So
I think we'll leave this one alone for now.
Backing away slowly.
Gotcha.
And because of the angle of your camera, it looks like
I'm sinking. Yeah.
you're sinking.
Okay. All right.
I think we're more or less satisfied if
So that's why you
video
gotta
is
glance up
satisfied
at
with
the new
that
cam so
coral
you get
pilot.
an idea whether it's a backing or a sinking, or know where your camera is now.
Yeah, I seem to get too focused on the main. I'll bounce around a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna start making my way back to starboard, or more like up.
And certainly when you get to, when it's right on the bottom like that, and it's a really small thing, just plant your toe. That's like the ideal situation for that.
Okay.
Yeah. Looks like there's a few other Crypthelia to the left, so they're not uncommon in this area.
So we are slowly rising. We're at a depth of 722 meters, now 721. Temperature's gone up just a little bit at 8.1 degrees Celsius.
Is that a ridge that you see above me? Up to the
I think it's